Jesus. But now, a servant always has mercy following him around. But now, when David came in, even though he sinned against God, but he must always still to continue to be with him, because he was a servant. He remained a servant even when he was a king. The Bible says in First Samuel, the Bible says, I don't know if it's chapter 7 or chapter 6, the Bible says to say that David danced with all his might, and even his wife was embarrassed of him. And when his wife asked him about it, the Bible says to say, he said to say, I was dancing for my father, I was dancing for my master. I will dance so that the Lord will not remove me from this throne. The throne, the same throne that God collected from your father. So that's the thing that you need to understand. You need to have a mind of a servant. You need to understand that you are a servant. And again, one thing that you need to understand is that a servant does not fight for himself. A servant does not fight for himself. A servant does not fight for himself. There are certain things that fight for you as a servant. There are certain things that fight for you as a servant. In the same way as I was talking about David, the Bible tells me to say that the same David confronted Goliath. He confronted him to say, you uncircumcised, you unclean, you what? You have defiled my God here. You have defiled my master. You have come with a sword prepared with an armor, but I come in the name of the Lord. And the Bible tells me to say that it took only one stone and Goliath was down. It was just a stone, a small stone. If you go physically, or if you begin to analyze the physical way, it's not possible for just a small stone to make a giant to fall. But now the Bible says to say that Jesus, He is the living stone. He is the living stone. And the Bible tells me to say in Daniel to say that King Nebuchadnezzar had the dreams, seen of a giant thing made of different parts, bronze, silver, gold, and whatsoever. And the Bible tells me to say that in this vision he saw a stone coming from the top of the mountain and crushed the whole thing. And again the Bible tells me to say that when Moses and the Israel were in the wilderness, the Bible tells me to say that from the stone came out water. And the Bible says, Jesus said to say that out of my belly shall flow rivers of living waters. Meaning to say he is a stone. So when David casted that stone and him, it was not just a stone, but it was Jesus fighting. So we do not fight for ourselves. No, we do not fight for ourselves as servants of God, but God fights for us. That's one when you read in Numbers chapter 12, the Bible tells me to say that Miriam was talking about Moses about certain things. He was criticizing him, and the Bible tells me to say that God came down. And as he came down, the Bible tells me to say that God called for a meeting. And as he called for a meeting, the Bible tells me to say that as they discussed, as soon as God left that meeting, Miriam was struck with leprosy. We do not fight for ourselves. Moses did not need even to say anything, but God fought for him because he was a servant. So even you, when you're a servant, you do not fight for yourself. That's why now the Bible says to say that the fight is not yours, the battle is not yours, but the victory is yours. The battle is not ours. It's not us to fight, but it is us to leave it in the hands of God. Melekunsh Maraga Unsavekes. That's why now a servant is just a weapon. A servant is just a weapon, or she's just a weapon. That's why when you read in Jeremiah chapter 51 verse 20, the Bible says to say that you are my battle axe, my weapon of war. With you I shall crush nations, I shall crush kingdoms. We are just weapons that God uses. So when you are